you very much for wonderful introduction. Actually, I have many books, but I didn't list them because that's my favorite book of Bringing Buddhism in Africa, and it has been the most challenging one, but the most interesting. That's why that's what I include. But I've written 5 books, of course. So thank you very much. Also, I thank very much the participants for coming to attend this one-day retreat, and it's very significant because of the Vesak Day. That's the best we can do, really, to reflect on Buddha's teaching. As we know that this is a celebration of birth, enlightenment, and the passing away into parinibbana. So by coming to attend this retreat, so it's just like following the footsteps of the Buddha by come here and show up. It shows your faith, because part of the faith and confidence is to show up and sacrifice your time, show up to follow the Buddha's footsteps. So now we are going to start the retreat now. It's already started, actually, but I'd like to spend some time between 9, 10. Oh, we are ahead. So between 10 to 10, really actually giving some instructions, meditation instruction and guided meditation. So I start with meditation instructions. Maybe I can sit there. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. It's good I came here.
Do you want to keep this thing, or should I erase this?
Me to keep this one? I think we erase it. But we are going to refer to it. Oh. We are going to refer to it because of the mission today. Why are we meditating today? No, keep it, I'll remove it. Okay. So I think it's very important to keep it.
So I'll leave it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes. So now, really, meditation instruction. Some of you are new to meditation, but I might have to. Okay, raise your hand if you have. This is your first time to meditate. Not medicate, because you know in Africa, when I tell people I meditate, they say, "Oh, medication." I try to tell them I meditate, they say medication. 3 times I say, okay, now you come to the temple, you know what I'm doing. They have never heard the word meditation in Uganda. So now, when I just went there, but now they know a little bit. So meditation. So if you are new to meditation, this kind of meditation, maybe you've done another kind of meditation. Because for me, I want to start from scratch, assuming that you have never meditated with me. Maybe you have done some other meditation, I don't know. So you raise your hand if you think this is your first time to meditate with a monk. So that's very good. You see, when you raise it like this, I can't know that. For us in Africa, we raise the hand above the head. I didn't know that in the This is very interesting. Because if you don't raise your hand for me, I'll just go on and on and on and on, and then you miss out. But since we have even one new person, that means I cannot just begin somewhere in the middle. I have to start from scratch. But it might be boring for seasoned meditators here, because we have seasoned people who have been meditating for a long time. But for us, always we go with the new people. These who have never meditated before. So welcome. Welcome to meditation. So now, since we have, I'm sure there's new people who didn't. Their hand is still coming. They're still thinking about it. But all over the side, I'm going to start from scratch. Start from scratch. What's meditation? We need to know about 5 questions when it comes to meditation. I'm sorry, this is too basic for people who have been meditating for a long time. You can just meditate. No, you're exempted from listening my talk. Now, you can listen to other talks, maybe 1:30, but this is basic information I'm sure people know already. What's meditation? All right? What do you think is meditation? At some stage, I'll tell you, okay, now we are going to maintain noble silence. But this one, I need at least to gauge what's meditation. Now you can talk about Dhamma. The Buddha say, if you meet, talk about Dhamma, or maintain noble silence. So now we are talking about Dhamma. Don't say, Bhante, is a noble silence, you're supposed to keep quiet. No. Buddha's, that's what the recommendation from the Buddha. When you meet, talk about Dhamma, or maintain noble silence. This is the time to talk about Dhamma. Don't worry. And I'll tell you, okay, now it's noble silence. Okay, to you, what's meditation? Being mindful. What about loving kindness? What about compassion? What about taking precepts? Now, most people thinking their meditation is being mindful only. But you need to concentrate. You need to cultivate skill or some states of mind like loving kindness and all that. So the definition of meditation, the Pali word bhavana, means mental development. So when you say that meditation is mental development, that means mindfulness is included, concentration is included, right effort is included. Of course, mindfulness is everywhere. But if you take the meditation, mindfulness, then you're going to say mindfulness of the breath. Then I know how we keep on narrowing our meditation. So this is called the Noble Eightfold Path. But right mindfulness is one of them. There is right understanding. But of course you have to have right understanding with mindfulness still. But the thing is that people don't zero in and really find out what the Buddha's teaching, his mission. Yeah, when we confine only mindfulness, people say, oh, I'm going to kill the deer with mindfulness. I'm going to harvest the deers, animals. I'm going to do fishing with concentration. With mindfulness, I'm going to do fishing, This mindfulness thing, I wish they said right mindfulness, then I will know. But if you leave the word mindfulness alone as a naked mental state, it doesn't bring out the Buddha's teaching properly. You have to use the right mindfulness. If you say meditation is right mindfulness, then the whole thing will come down, Because right mindfulness, there's 4 foundations of mindfulness, and this is everything. So right mindfulness, the 4 foundations of mindfulness is another way of saying the 4 noble truth, is another way of saying noble eightfold path. But if you say meditation is mindfulness alone, well, you go across the door, they say, be mindful of your door. That means all people are meditating, you think so? Because that's what I see, mindfulness of your door, mindfulness of this, So really they're telling you to pay attention, really. But paying attention, it doesn't bring out the whole Buddha's teaching. So we have to say meditation is bhavana, the mental cultivation. So we know what meditation is, mental development. Then the next question, at least this question, what? They are called HW questions. HW questions. What's meditation? You should be able to say clearly, meditation is mental development. The second question, why do we meditate? Why bother? You should go swimming now. Why come here to meditate? So tell me the reason. Anybody, I'm not going to pin out a new person. You're off the hook. I'm sure you're worried and you're going to tell the wrong answer and the Bhante is going to make examination 9 out of 100. No, this is just discussing about Dhamma as a way of friendly, knowing each other, because we're going to be meditating together here, exploring the mysteries of the mind. So we need to be familiar with that, with these things. Okay, why do we meditate? You know, we ask this question sometime in the USA. We ask people, why did you come on a retreat? They say, oh, wow, the cruise boat was sold out. So it becomes very difficult to teach such people, you know. So, why bother? Tell me, you know, we're 100 people, I think, here. Tell me, even if you've been meditating for a long time, you know. Yeah, for me, actually, sometimes I teach and people once in a while, they say, Bhante, why do we meditate? Especially in Uganda, children have been meditating for a while, school children, and later on they ask, Bhante, why do we have to meditate? And they've been coming for a while, actually. That was very interesting. These are children who have been coming for a while, but when you ask them questions, they feel, okay, they have to ask something. Uh-huh. Eh? To get rid of suffering and gain happiness. And they attain vision of the Buddha. Yeah, that's very good. Mm-hmm. What else? Who has another answer? Mm-hmm. Yes, that's very good. Mm-hmm. That one. Purify the mind. Buy one, you get one for free. Once you purify the mind, actually now you get 5 for free, not only one. According to Buddha, he said, you purify the mind of greed, hatred, and delusion. And then once we purify the mind, when it's free from greed, hatred, and delusion, and low mental defilement, then it's a mind that's going to not experience pain and grief, sorrow and lamentation. The Buddha mentioned exactly what the purpose of meditation right there is, that for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, for overcoming pain and grief, for reaching happiness. Happiness, this is part of another word for happiness, sukha, and this is the opposite of dukkha. Opposite of dukkha is sukha. So we meditate to gain happiness. Of course, this is the ultimate happiness, but as we continue to meditate, every moment to moment, we gain happiness. And then reaching the true happiness is going to getting into the stages of enlightenment, actually. First stage, second, third, and fourth, and then finally Nibbana. Yes, that's why we meditate. So we are meditating. The final goal is what? Nibbana. Yes. So we should keep that in view. Don't say, you missed the plane ride to Uganda. That's why you come here. Don't say that. This is why you meditate. The answer is there. Yeah, but the first simple word to answer people why you meditate is to purify the mind. That's a good answer. And then you can give more answers. Okay, that's one you know why now. So then it's good, since we are going to spend time here meditating, it's good to know the reason why you are doing it. Otherwise, you are going to go into pain, and then you are not going to see why you are here. As you say, let me go for a little bit. Some people jump out of the retreat because they don't know why they meditate. I remember I read a retreat in Uganda, and it was a New Year retreat, and then one guy from England, he meditated for one day. The second day I didn't see him. I said, why are you on the second day? He said, I had a little bit of pain and I went to have a beer, and I didn't come back. And yet we had bought enough food for him, So that's the problem. People, because they didn't know why they're meditating, it's a little bit of pain like this, instead of recycling the pain to see it as dukkha and recycle it and get some benefit from even pain, so that they can continue on to the road to happiness, they give up. So now you can see the purpose. Now the next question is, when should we meditate? When Bhante is here? Tell, especially the new person, when should we meditate? On Monday? On Monday? Every day? Yeah, that's very good. You see, you're learning something. All the time. 24/7, except when you are fast asleep. All right? Because we know that meditation is for purifying the mind. Okay, now, the other question. Who's meditating? Who? Who's meditating? Now, this is very important. I told you 5 questions. After that, we're going to continue on. Without those 5 questions being answered, I'm not going to teach. I'll raise you. All of you should know those 5 questions about meditation. Who meditates? What's your name?
Geraldine.
Gerard? Gerald? Geraldine. Who meditates? You've been... Now, if there's no self, how can you say that to meditate? I think you've attended many of my talks, I think. Another person who meditates. For us, when I was in school, if somebody scratched the head, we think they're the one who are going to answer. Because that means they're trying to find answers. They're scratching like this. I saw you scratching your head. Another one. You're in trouble. Who's a meditator?
Yourself.
Yourself. You have a self that meditates. This is very difficult for me. Who meditates? Yes. You see, this guy has been sitting in front here. That's why he knows all the 5 aggregates of clinging. They are the one which meditate. You bring the body here. You bring the body and sits here. It meditates. The body, feelings, then perception, then mental formations, then consciousness. So when I say observe your breath, so then the body sitting here, the mind knows that the body is sitting here. You see? So part of the mindfulness is the fourth aggregate. Mindfulness is part of the aggregate. Your attention to the breath. Yeah. So don't say Ong meditates. That's a name. Or Eileen, Sister Eileen meditates. No, that's we can say in our conversation. But what's really is meditating is the 5 aggregates. So you take 5 aggregates for meditation. So are we clear? Now the last question: how to meditate? How? Now that's the 5th question. How to meditate? Any answer? No, how? Relax. Now I relax like I'm meditating. That's one of the beginning stage, you know. It's like going for a ride with a car, then you get your keys, so then you have to get the keys, you know. But that's not driving. Yes, you just get the keys, you know. So relaxation is not yet meditation, is supporting meditation. How do we meditate?
Identify a meditation object. You identify a meditation object that you want to do.
And if you don't have meditation object, you are done. How do we meditate? Observing power. You observe the what? The 5 aggregates. So another word for mindfulness is observing power. You observe. So mindfulness, start observing what's going on. Yeah, so now it depends on what you're meditating on. There's a few words that we need to learn. One is called anusati. Like for instance, if I want to meditate, really, I would like to remind people who have come to meditate today, is that start with even taking the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts. Most of the people you go to meditation centers, they finish taking the 3 refuges, 5 precepts, they put there. They go. They look for the breath, breathing in, breathing out. It's very difficult. I tell them we are not balloons, breathing in and breathing out, putting in air, putting air out. We are not balloons. Putting in air, get air out. All the day, people spend the day putting in air in their lungs and getting it out. People are very creative, I think. They're very creative. And even we have people who count it and they become accountants. Accountants, breathing 1, breathing 2, 3, 4, the whole day. So we have balloon meditation. What? Become accountant, chief accountant of meditation. So while all these are wonderful techniques, actually, especially when the mind is restless, you can count the breath, there's no doubt about it, but that's post-canonical. The Buddha never taught to count the breath. It's actually, we find it in a post-canonical. So those are techniques that can be very useful, but I think I'd like to really draw your attention to what the Buddha talks about meditation right there when you take the 3 refuges, because you have already taken them. There's what we call Buddhanussati, means reflecting on the qualities of the Buddha. That's the first meditation I want you to think about. Reflecting on the quality of the Buddha. And once you reflect on the qualities of the Buddha, you feel faith and confidence. Wow, the Buddha is the one who really found this teaching that I'm practicing. You've already done this one. Itipiso bhagava araham samma sambuddho vijacharana sampano sugatoro kavidu anuttaro purisadama sarati satta deva manusana buddho bhagavati. You can just choose maybe araham. The Buddha is arahant. Arahant is the one who has purified the mind from greed, hatred, and delusion and all defilement. Just look at the quality of the Buddha's purity. One is enough. For us, when I was training with Sayadaw Upandita, they said that you have to do within 2 minutes and finish. So it has to be quick before you start picking your breath, So these are called protective meditations, actually. They protect you from doubt, right? When you do that, as soon as when you begin your meditation with actually reflecting on the qualities of the Buddha, you just pick one. There are so many. Even that's a summary. The 6 is just a summary. The quality of the Buddha, there are so many. But you choose 1 or 2 or 3 and reflect on that. And you just remind, today I come to treat myself to a retreat. I would like to purify what? My mind. Even you reduce an iota of greed, hatred, and delusion. Make that determination and just reflect on that. It's called Buddhanussati. Anu means along, sati means mindfulness, then along with the qualities of the Buddha. Is it clear? Now the second one is Dhamma, the quality of Dhamma. So you have also repeated the quality of Dhamma, directly visible, calling one to come and see. Is well expounded by who? By the Buddha. How is it well expounded? Is in beginning is excellent. In the middle is excellent. In the end is excellent. You just pick that quality. Oh, wow. The beginning is ethical conduct. Wow. I'm here, sitting here. Since I came, how many minutes since you came? About 5 minutes ago? No, 1 hour. You say 1 hour since I've been here, I've not killed. I've not stolen anything. I've not committed sexual misconduct. I've not lied. I've not taken intoxicants. So that one alone, looking at the quality of the Dhamma as well expounded, concentration and wisdom, really reflect on any of the quality of the Dhamma. It's visible now, here, right now, calling, inviting you, come and see, not come and believe. Come and see for yourself. So you get 1 or 2 qualities and reflect on that. And then when you do that, wow, you gain faith and confidence. Before you are trying to breathe, you are not gaining faith and confidence in your breath because you are so busy and the breath is elusive, and then you think meditation is very hard. yet you are missing the meditation that you're supposed to start with. Then another kind of meditation is Sangha qualities. You have done that one, no? Supatipano, Bhagavatosa, Vakasango, Ujupatipano, Bhagavatosa. The Sangha have entered the right path. Also, you want to enter the right path, isn't it? So, reflect. This is called Buddhanussati, Dhammanussati, Sanghanussati. These are meditation themselves, but people skip them, They close their books as soon as they take the 3 refugees. Now we call Bhante to lead a retreat. And now they're expecting Bhante to bring a magic breath to really actually tell them how to focus on their breath and they get Nibbana. You have already taken the 3 refugees already. Why don't you start from what you have already? Then you have taken the 5 precepts. This is called Sila Anusati. Sila what? Anusati. Sila Anusati means reflecting on your qualities, moral conduct. Don't go even back like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or 1 year ago. No, just say, today, yesterday, I've been really behaving very well. I've not been misbehaving. Can you imagine if the whole country in the world, they ask them to keep 1 precept? Do you know the difference the world will make? Guess what difference it will make? If they ask the entire world to observe, not 5 precepts, only 1 or 2, the country will be so peaceful. Billions and billions of dollars will be spent, and they will send to Africa and will build temples there. Just 1 or 2 precepts, if they leave alone 5 precepts. Only abstain from killing and abstain from stealing. The whole country do the opposite. Loving kindness and compassion, that means nothing will be killed. And then generosity and the contentment, and they will save money, and the world will be more peaceful. But you don't know that effect, but you look at yourself, because also you're part of the world. So can you reflect that what you're doing is very, very wholesome? The world is not doing it, but you are doing it. So you reflect on those are called meditation themselves. So that's your meditation instruction. Now, what will come is more of mindfulness and vipassana meditation. We're going to do, then I'll guide you in meditation. Vipassana meditation, I have to write a little bit. Let me write. How to meditate can occupy the rest of our life. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Since we talk about, thank you. You can leave that, huh? Okay, because we don't want to lose the vision. So now, really, actually, in order to meditate properly, you have to use the Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold what? Path. Okay? So when you come to meditation, you start plucking out, and then the rest you need to cultivate all the time. You first remove what you've done already when you come to the retreat. What have you done? 5 precept is part of right what? Right what? Action. You already done that one. You've taken the precepts, isn't it? So now you're ready. You can now start reflecting on the qualities of what? We say Sila Anusati. Sila Anusati. Sila Anusati. All right? Then, right speech. Right speech. Right speech. You are keeping noble silence. Actually, you are keeping total silence. Noble is something different, total silence. But you're off the hook. You're not going to tell lies. You're not going to speak divisive speech. Yeah, so we are narrowing it down and see what we need to do the rest. The rest what we have to do. All right? Then, right livelihood. Right what? livelihood. Today you are going to be self-employed on a cushion. You are all self-employed. You are living a right livelihood. You are not manufacturing bombs and all these things. You are just trapped here today. So you can count that you are living a right livelihood. So we keep that. Then we keep now listing what we need to do, is how we are going to meditate. Actually, I have not listed them in the order, but we need 8. These are just plucked out for the sake of showing that this one, you are all set. Now we have to look at right. They are not listed like this, by the way, but I'm just telling you what has been done. Then we start to know what's rest, what we have to do. Right understanding. Right understanding. A bit of right understanding is very necessary. Understanding that cause and effect, that when you meditate, you're going to get nibbana. That's basic. You can get that information. And right thoughts. In meditation, you need right thoughts. Not a thinking exercise, but in meditation, I will always tell you, okay, begin with reflection of Dhananusati. Dhananusati, it's called Dhananusati, thought of generosity, or letting go. This one always going to be carried out in letting go. Say, let go of this and all these things. But more so in meditation, you hear me talking about metta, loving kindness. Metta. I'm showing you how to meditate. How to meditate. Metta. Metta. Oh, this doesn't write. Maybe it was open for a while. We put metta. Metta. I'm going just to talk. Nothing writes here. Metta. Metta is called thoughts of loving kindness. Loving what? Kindness. So this is how to begin meditation. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. So this is very, very important from verbal level to mental level. Then you let go the words, and then the feeling level and concentration. So this is very important. Sometimes you can do also compassion. This is how to meditate. Meditate, you know that once you do this, even for 2 minutes, this is off. Then effort, right effort. Right effort, right effort. Right effort is to move, cultivate this. You cultivate this and drop the opposite. So we need right effort to keep on going. Of course, also you need the effort here. Then number 7, you need right mindfulness. Right mindfulness. Because when you cultivate, you repeat these phrases, you have to be mindful. Right mindfulness. And then right concentration. Right concentration. 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 Okay, so when I talk about meditation, you have to include all these factors. All these factors, when you said how to meditate, is I cultivate right action, I cultivate right speech, I cultivate livelihood, I cultivate right understanding, I cultivate right thoughts, right effort, right, like that. That's the best way to talk about how to meditate. If you don't bring in the 8, then maybe you're talking about different kind of meditation, because so many kind of meditations, mantra, like this, looking at crowds, and all this, many, many things, you know. But if you are doing Buddhist meditation, is you say how to meditate, I start cultivating right action by reflecting on my sila. I start doing these things. Yeah. So are we together? We have answered that question. But to be more refined on a technique, how everything interplay, I'm going to give you this. Because this is the territory of the question, how to meditate. Every kind of meditation should cover one of this at one time or the other. Especially like this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. Yeah, thoughts, we may not think that meditation, sometimes we suspend the thoughts, but really these 3 are going on all the time. I would say those are cardinal factors. We call them cardinal factors when we come to meditation. Now the rest is more of a technique. I'm going to wrap this. So you all have answered 5 questions. Now I can proceed. Are we together? Now I'm going to proceed. Buckle up now. Because all questions you know now. Now it's a question of how to bring all those 5 into play. And then I start giving guided meditation. We know what's meditation, who meditates, how to meditate, when to meditate, and all these things. You already got, especially my friend who's new now, he knows everything about meditation. Now you're confident. If you go somewhere, have you meditated? If somebody say how to meditate, when to meditate, you're good to go. Okay, now, to continue with the how, this is how we meditate. We begin with breath. Breath. Already I've told you how to do the protective meditation of the Sila, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Now we go to the normally how people meditate the breath. Breath is the primary stage of the breathing, or rising and fall of abdomen. Rise and fall of abdomen. Abdomen, abdomen. This is actually the secondary stage. This is the secondary stage of the breath. So we use this as an anchor. We use it as what? An anchor. It's like when you take a boat and then you throw the anchor down so that when the wind comes, it doesn't blow it. But if you don't throw the anchor, what will happen? The boat is going to be drifting. Whenever wind comes, you find it in Batam. Another wind blows, you find it in Uganda. So even our body, as I told you, 5 aggregates are the one which meditates. We need to anchor them somewhere because this is part of the 5 aggregates, the body. So you need to anchor it. Why? Because this is here all the time. The breath is here all the time. All right? So you become aware of mindfulness of breathing in, breathing out. Already you've done the preliminaries, what we call protective meditations. There are 4 kinds of protective meditation. One is Buddha Nusat, Dhamma Nusat, another. Then there is what we call metta, and then reflecting on parts of the body, another one reflecting on death. We call it 4 protective meditation. That's a preliminary, it's a warm-up. But though we call it warm-up, in countries like in Burma, they spend 1 year cultivating only reflect on the qualities of the Buddha. Did you know that? People, they don't know breathing in and breathing out only. But in Burma, they spend another year cultivating on the qualities of the Dhamma. Another year, qualities of the Sangha. They are meditation in themselves, actually. You know? So now, I assume that you have done that, which will take you about 5 minutes. For us, they told us 2 minutes. May I write down the warm-up? Even somebody who's got to swim, don't you do some warm-up? Yeah, but the problem, people don't warm up and then they start looking at the breath. They start wrestling with the breath, you know. Wrestling, You know, wrestling. Yeah, they start wrestling. Who's going to win, The breath. That's the problem. So if you don't want to wrestle with the breath, do what they call protective meditation. Protective what? Yes, protective meditation. So one is, I told you, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Reflection, all right? Reflection. This protects you from what? Doubt. Doubt. So then you get what? Faith, isn't it? You get faith and confidence. 2 is metta, loving kindness. Metta, loving kindness. I've told you there, it protects you from anger. Anger and hatred. So that when you meditate, you forget all your anger, who parked in your place, who did this and all that. So you have loving kindness, all right? Loving kindness. Number 3 is actually reflection. Reflect of the body parts. Reflection of body parts. Body parts. Body parts. Different, only 5 visible parts, but only enough. The hair of the head, hair of the body, skin, teeth, and nails. You reflect on that. That helps you to overcome attachment to your body and other bodies. Attachment. Overcome attachment, then there's anger. Already this is the obstacles mostly. This doubt, and then reflection of death. reflection on death, This brings what we call samvega, spiritual urgency. Now you have more what you call effort. You are not going to be lazy. It will overcome sleepiness because you think, oh, I might die today. I better meditate. Are you familiar with this? Nola? Now I think I assume that you know this. Then you do what we call now main course. This is the main course. This is appetizer. Now, the main course is like this. Start mindfulness, whereby you look at areas where you want to go. All right? Then hindrances. Sometimes there's hindrances. We are going to talk about those hindrances. So you look at the hindrances. There is thinking. You need to get rid of thinking. When you start thinking, there's some thinking going on. If there's some pain, you look at also pain, right? We have to look at hindrances. What are the hindrances? Greed, hatred, ill will, all right? Then sloth and torpor, restless and worry, and doubt. Guess what? This one you can take care of them from here, isn't it? You can take care of them from there. Whenever, let's say breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and then you feel some anger, you deal with it. And then you come back. You come back. You go here and come back. When thinking comes, you go there. Thinking, and then you come back. All right? This will include also, let's say, different senses, thinking, and mind wandering, and all these things. Something that comes like that, thinking. You need to come back. So this is pain sometime. You have pain and go back. So this is very, very important to remember how you navigate. Main thing that comes in, and then you have to come, you always come back. So now, sometime you need to be mindfulness of sitting and touching the body when it's sitting and touching. This is when the body is sitting. Body is sitting. When you're sitting, especially when you have let's say some hindrances of sloth and torpor, sometimes you need to make the body a physical body. It's called mindfulness of sitting. Mindfulness of what? Mindfulness of sitting. Mindfulness of sitting. Okay? Then once you become mindful, this especially when you have sloth and torpor, then you need to increase the object. Let's say breathing in, breathing, and then sitting, touching, so that you increase more object, So now you can always start from here, and not, unless you have maybe this kind of sloth and torpor, then you can go to the body. Otherwise, you keep on toggling like this. When there's pain, you go back. Unless there is totally you cannot bear the pain, then you can make the pain the object. So now we call this primary object. We call this what? Primary object. This one. We call it primary object. I hope this is right. Primary what? Anatta. These are really anatta now. Non-self. Okay. I want you to get familiar. These things were called secondary object. Secondary object. Secondary what? Objects. Object. This is called secondary object. This is called secondary object. These are called secondary object. These are called secondary object. And this is called primary object. Primary object. So now this is, it's good to have what called a map of meditation, so that you know how to navigate. At least you have some idea, and the Buddha didn't come up with this, you do this, but meditators, once people get some experience, they tell you, okay, now make it a primary object, make it a secondary object. Then that helps you to navigate things around, especially when you're meditating. So how to meditate, I've told you 8 things, but more so is to be in this kind of framework whereby you know where to start and where to go when things are changing. So let us now, they say that the proof of the pudding is in eating. So now it's time to do something we've covered. All right? Okay? Let us now sit. Now we're not going to sit. Let us stand. I won't be popular in Singapore if I make you to sit for 30 minutes now. Please stand up. So, standing up, this is called mindfulness of standing. So, I'm going to stand here. I hope I can be visible here. Okay, am I visible here? You can. So now, with standing meditation, you put legs apart, like this, so that you are stable. Then chin parallel to the ground. Your chin should be parallel to the ground. Your hand should not be like this. They should be here like this. Now, you should not close your eyes. You should leave them open, but cast your gaze in front of you. So at the moment, you can see what I'm doing at the moment, but really, so those who cannot see me, I think you can see me. Oh, you see me over there. Oh, very good. I forget this guy. Who is this person here? So anyway, so now, really this is called mindfulness of what? Standing. It's a meditation itself. Meditation itself. So now, I told you the 5 aggregates meditate. So the body is standing and the mind knows that the body is what? Standing. That's already you are in a meditation mode. So now you start, become aware. It's called mindfulness of the body parts. Mindfulness of the body parts. There are many parts, but we are just going to go through the external ones, external parts. So bring your awareness to the eyes, areas around the eyes. If there's any tension, see if you can relax that tension. Area around the nose, the mouth, let go of any tension in the jaws. So it's about finding if the area has tension and let go of that tension. Relax. The area around the ears, come to the chest. Drop your chest so that you're not really holding the chest. Just relax and let go. Sometimes there's a lot of tension and stress in the shoulders. Just let go. Relax. This is a storehouse for tension, actually. So try to let go of the tension in the shoulders. Come back. No, go down to the arm, both arms, left and right. Be aware of the elbows, area around the elbows, then the fingers. Relax the fingers. Then come back to the chest, your breasts, the chest also. In this case, be aware of the movement of your chest. As you breathe in, the chest moves. Breathe out, it moves. So you can do it maybe 3 times. Bring awareness to the chest movement. Then awareness of the abdomen, the rise and the fall of abdomen. Breathing in, breathing out. Do it like 3 times. Awareness of the abdomen rising as you breathe in, falling when you breathe out. That becomes also a primary object. Primary object sometimes that is very, very important. So you can get familiar with the rising and the fall of abdomen from the diaphragm. Let it go. Then come to the hips. the thighs, awareness of the knees. Actually, in the knees, normally we lock them, but this time we want to unlock them. So you relax them. There's a tension before, and now when you relax, there's some relaxation. The calves. Now we zoom to the ankles, which is actually taking all your weight. The whole weight of your body is being held by your feet. Bring your awareness to the feet touching the ground. Awareness of different elements. We have the 4 elements: fire element, water element, air element, and earth element. As you are standing here, some kind of hardness, sometimes it's softness, so that's called the earth element properties. Sometimes there's pressure exerting the ground. Air element. Fire elements. Sometimes you feel warmness, coolness sometimes. And for water, you can just invite. So really, this is about 2 kinds of meditation, mindfulness meditation we've done. One is for elements, another one is body parts. Actually, the third one is standing. 3 in 1 we have done just on a short moment. So that's called standing meditation. So 3 mindfulness meditation we have already done. So we limit our meditation on standing meditation is to 15 minutes, not more than 15 minutes, because it takes a lot of energy. So 15 minutes is about the right number of time, minutes to meditate while you're standing. Right? So now we finish that instruction. I finish, please. Now you can be back. Now you can back. You can be back standing in the normal way. Okay, now, standing meditation is, the Buddha taught it in what we call the 4 postures. The 4 postures. Now, one posture is lying down, another one is standing, another one is walking, another one sitting. We started with sitting. You are sitting, one listening. And now, for me, how I balance this energy is, if we have been sitting for a while, then we start standing and then walking. So that everything is in a kind of a cycle. Then from walking, then back to sitting, then standing, walking. So that's what we do in a retreat, so that it is kind of seamless. We don't do lying down meditation in a retreat here for obvious reason. People start kind of snoring. But still you can do it when you go home. All right? So now I'm going to demonstrate walking meditation. Yes, walking meditation I'm going to demonstrate. Now, you see me? Okay. For standing meditation, is slightly, the way we put our hands is different. We put them here, like this, or here. All right, here. This helps us not to wobble, Like standing, okay, we put them here. But if you start walking, and then you start wobbling, but if here, if you put here, you are composed. You put your, but also relax. Don't be tight. They have to be here. No. Just relax. Open your chest, right? And now here is actually, we start to do walking meditation. First, we have to make sure that we are opening our eyes. 2, we don't do reverse. Leave this to come. Another one, don't go in circles like this. I've been teaching meditation for such a long time. Always I find people who throw surprise. Hey, so why you do that? Well, you didn't tell me. So now, you really relax your hand like this, chin parallel to the ground, cast your gaze in front of you, and now you start doing walking meditation, lifting. You actually watch your movement from the hip to the foot. That's one step. Another step, like that. So all you have to be mindful is your whole leg from the hip to the foot. Okay? You walk like that. And now, about 10 pace you can walk, but at BF, I don't think you can get 10 pace. Maybe 3 paces. If you want to get 10 paces, you come to Uganda. But here in BF, I don't think so. Are they allowed to go downstairs? Okay, that's fine. Okay, 5. If you can get 5, be happy about it. Yeah, be happy about 5 steps. But look at the way how I'm turning. You look at the way I'm turning. Somebody just can't see me when I'm going to turn. They cannot see me. There's somebody there. Who is this one? I can't see. There's somebody here. Can you see my feet? Who is it? Who is that person there? Who is it? Eh? That one. Yes, I want to see my foot because not all of you can see me. Okay, this is how we. I think that, but he must be the one. That one. Because people, I have to rely on people there because the projector's over there. You know. So now you see how I turn, like this. I turn like this. Like this. That's one turn. Another turn. So the whole torso is turning. The whole torso is what? It's turning. And then you do walking meditation like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And then when you reach the 5 steps, you turn again like this. Again turning like this, turning like this. Why do we make that kind of turn? It helps us to keep composed. Because if we turn the way we turn like this, then we are going to think about what we are going to have for lunch. Because the mind goes very, very fast. But if you keep your mind in a body, the body is walking and the mind knows that the body is walking. So as you continue to walk like this mindfulness, your turning should be also with mindfulness. Your turning should be with what? Mindfulness. But if you walk until you reach the fifth space, and then you turn with the unmindfulness, and then you walk like this, and then turn with unmindfulness, then you have breaks. Because the key to the success of meditation is continuity of mindfulness. Is what? Continuity of mindfulness. It has to be continuous. That's why we have to continue and turn with mindfulness, turning, 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 and turning. And then you continue. So your mindfulness is the whole leg. Right? So we do that. If we have about 30 minutes, we do it like for 10 minutes. First step. Then we are going to put gear number 2. We are going to do what? Put gear number 2. The other one was first gear. Right? Second gear is like this. Now we are not mindful of the whole foot. I mean the leg. We are now mindful of the foot. Look at my foot. Lifting. You place. Lift. Place. Lift. Place. Lift. Place. Lift. Place. You see, this is gear number 2. Again, we turn in the same way. Turning. Turning. That's the first turn. Then turn. Then turn. Now we go. Lifting. Placing. You see, with this walking meditation, So your feet is not convoluted. Before in our walking meditation, we don't know which leg is moving. We just walk like this. We don't know which is it? That's a problem. But here with the walking meditation, we make sure that one leg, we know that this is lifting the leg, this is placing the leg. This lifting it, this placing. So now we become aware of hardness. These are elements. I told you about 4 elements. This part of meditation, earth element, you feel hardness. Put there, hardness goes. So because in meditation, we have to be mindful of also the arising and passing away nature of our experience. The arising nature and the passing away nature of experience. So now as we place our feet like this, you feel hardness, and then hardness goes, you bring another one, lifting, you place. So as you lift, you feel softness. And as you put, you can feel the pressure and all this kind of thing. So walking meditation is not the same as walking exercise. Walking exercise, we can look at birds, we can think this and that, but here we have to look at different elements so that we are within mindfulness. Right? So now, gear number 3. Now we have finished another 10 minutes. We are going to shift gears after turning. Of course, when thinking comes, you can just stop. You become aware of thinking. But don't stay there for a whole day, You limit your walking to about 1 hour. You have turned. Now I'm going to make the third gear. Now, third gear, are you ready for the third gear? Lifting, moving, placing. Lifting, moving, placing. Lifting, moving, placing. So that's the third gear. So it's very clear. This is the turning I told you. Turning is the same. And now, in fact, actually the third gear is a combination of the first and second. All right? So this one is lifting, moving, placing. Lifting, moving, placing. Lifting, moving, placing. So I go over it very quickly. Okay, the first gear was only just moving, just aware of the movement. This is not goose march. No. Here, the difference between goose march is actually rather just with the gun like this. For us, we are moving with mindfulness and just become aware of the element, this air element. The air element, the function of the air element is movement. Right? So now, once we do it, the first step is movement. Then when we change the other gear, is move like this. It's like lifting, placing. We don't pay attention to the movement part. Just become aware of the lifting, placing. Lifting, placing. Lifting, placing. That's the number 2. Now turn as a normal turning. Now the third is a combination. Lifting, moving, placing. Lifting, moving, placing. Lifting, movement, placing. So now, why do we do this? This kind of breaks that idea of a self, also. That you are the one who, the self is the one which is lifting and then moving and placing like this. Because now when we do this, we start to see elements. It has nothing to do with you, isn't it? Because as we are walking, we feel, we become aware of hardness. Hardness changing into softness. Softness taking, so the idea that, okay, it's Bhante who has been moving the whole day, it just cuts. It cuts the illusion that you are the whole person who has been moving from morning to the afternoon. Because you are cutting these things, and then you see for yourself rising and passing away. Questions? Because now we're going to sitting in instruction, and then you go start at 11, you have a sitting group. Before even 11, we are going to sit together. Yeah, we're going to sit for about, I give you a break, a bio break for about 5 minutes, and questions. So,
what's the pace of the steps? How fast, how slow?
That's a very interesting question. It's not about how slow or how fast. Because if it's about the speed of otherwise the chameleon will be enlightened. Even the person who's, it's not about slow. Huh? You know, in Singapore, I've not seen chameleons. Do you have chameleons? Yes. I've never seen it. I walk there every day. You know? Yeah, so all of them will be very enlightened, you know. But now here is about walk to the speed that allows you to be more mindful. As long as you feel that you're not mindful, you are just skipping things, your body is in Singapore and your mind is in Batam, like this kind of thing, you think that maybe you're racing so much. You always come back and slow down. In retreats, like when for us we used to meditate like for 3 months, you go there and find somebody who's just literally crowing. Really like this, you say, oh wow, this person is amazing. You know? But for me, I was to walk very, very fast, but then I had to adjust my speed too. Yeah, so the key is walk, to regulate your speed to the extent that you can be more mindful. Another question. Because I'm no further instruction on sitting and walking, what we are going to do is, as we do I'm going to be here for another 30 minutes, meditating with you, and then at 12, you have 11, you have a group meditation together, following the instruction about standing for about 5 minutes like that, and walking. You'll be by yourself. This is it. Now, if you have any question, this is the time. Because all the time, about primary object and the secondary object, the same thing. What's your primary object when you're doing standing meditation? Is actually the feet. That instead of the breath, is the feet is your primary object. So when there's sound, you can become aware of hearing, and then come back, right? Then as you're walking, as the feet is your primary object, then thought comes, lunch is about to come. So then you thinking, and then come back. You need to come back. Then as you are walking, sometimes you feel a little bit of pain. Then you become aware of pain. Pain is the second object, and then it comes primary object. So in meditation, apart from what I told you, how to meditate, and you know that these are 8 factors, the Noble Eightfold Path, you need to be more specific on where you get grounded. Otherwise, you'll be all over, thinking, thoughts, effort, what I'm doing here. So you need to really now put it here into practical terms so that you know how to navigate around different mind states. Okay, any question? Question? Okay, if no question, you'll have a chance probably when we do sitting meditation for 30 minutes. Maybe the last 5 minutes I'll ask you if you have any question. Don't worry, but let's break for 5 minutes. Stay tuned, and we come back. So now it's noble silence. No checking phones and think about what's going on in India. No. This is noble silence. I hope you explain what silence means. It means also not texting. Yes, just treat yourself. Today's yearly treat, and treat it to yourself, whereby the world can wait. The world can wait. Okay? I come back after 5 minutes. Be aware of the sound from the beginning to the end. Beginning to the end. Sitting meditation, mindfulness of sitting. In this sitting posture, there's a few things we can do the first 5 minutes, beginning with the reflection of the qualities of the Buddha. You can just be aware of, you don't have to do Dhamma and Sangha also. Just choose one. You can choose the Buddha or Dhamma or Sangha. So for me, I would choose the Buddha. Let's say I reflect on the qualities of great compassion, being deeply compassionate, and profound wisdom that the Buddha had. or even purity. And I want to admire the same thing, that I want to purify my mind. I want to cultivate compassion and wisdom. So this is a moment of reflection, remembering the qualities of the Buddha. So, as the Buddha purified the mind, may I purify my mind. That's a simple reflection, huh? Set up the stage for your meditation. That's protective meditation, protecting your mind from doubting about the Buddha and the qualities. Then you can have faith and confidence. So as the Buddha cultivated compassion, wisdom, and purity of the mind, may I cultivate purity of mind, compassion, and wisdom. Then you can also go to right thoughts. May I be well, happy, and peaceful. This is also a quick one, Just reflect on what you need most in this life. Maybe you need to be peaceful, you need to be happy, or you have whatever you wish yourself in this lifetime. Not only for today, but for the rest of your life. May I be well, or may I be peaceful, or may I be happy, or may I be enlightened. In this case, you say, may I attain ultimate happiness. And then you wish all beings to do the same. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. So this is very, very important to have what we call protective meditation. And when it comes to death, you just have to remember, life is certain. Life is uncertain. Death is certain. That's all what you have to remember. Reflection on death. And body parts, already, you can, you know how to do it. When I did it when we were doing standing meditation, you can also be mindful of the body parts. Maybe the hair on the body, the skin, nails, what. You can do like that, or you can do the whole sweeping method whereby you become aware of the whole body first, then you go to more specifics, being mindfulness of the area around the eyes, the nose, the jaws, or even in summary, you can just be aware of the areas where you feel the tension. Maybe the shoulders, you become aware of that area of the shoulder. Or the hips, or the knees, or the ankle. And assume a very, very good posture whereby actually you put one hand on top of the other. Especially you who is new to the meditation, you should know how to assume a very good posture. Why you put one hand on top of the other is to open our chest so that you can breathe as normal as possible. You open your chest to allow the lungs not to be squeezed. So part of the meditation, actually the first 5 meditations, preparation for relaxation, make sure that the body is comfortable, you're in a comfortable posture. Everything is well aligned, your hands, relax everything. And then you can now begin with the main course of being mindful of your hearing first. There's sound, external sound, that's called mindfulness of 6 senses. Becoming aware of external sounds. See if you can be aware of hearing. What's happened to the sound? Is it still there, or still the same? Or is it passing away? And if it's still there, you see if you can live in the background. You can leave that sound in the background and bring your awareness now to the whole body sitting here. The body is sitting, and the mind knows that the body is sitting. So you make that transition, smooth transition from external world to the internal world. Are you aware of different touch points of the body sitting here? Touching the cushion, those touch sensations. And then you take a deep, slow breath. Relax and oxygenate the blood. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Relax. And after that, you breathe as normal as possible. Remembering to make the breath as your primary object. As you breathe in and out, become aware of breathing in, breathing out, sustaining your attention from the beginning of in-breath to the end of it, beginning of out-breath to the end of it. Remembering the principle in meditation, or the rule of thumb, is be mindful of whatever is arising in the present moment whenever it becomes prominent. So whatever becomes prominent, you become aware of it. But it has to be present arising. Something arising in the present moment. As we are practicing in and out, many objects might arise, secondary objects like thinking. Just become aware of thinking and then come back to the primary object. Sometimes you can also choose another object in the fore abdomen in case breathing in and out doesn't work for you. Be aware of the rising of abdomen and the falling of abdomen. As you breathe in, the abdomen rises, breathe out, it falls. Can you be aware of different aspects of rising? There's a pressure, tightness, contraction, expansion. Can you be aware of the rising and falling of our experiences? Rising with its pain, with its thinking, with its wandering mind, with its feelings, emotions. You expand your awareness to embrace all what's happening as you are sitting here. Supamaya sabesam satanam sukukamato pasitva kamato metta sabbasate subhavaye. Having seen that all beings like oneself have a desire for happiness, one methodically develops loving kindness for all beings. See if you can reflect along these lines. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Hearing sound from beginning to the end. Okay. Our first instructions on meditation. Sitting meditation. So now I've finished all the instructions, sitting, walking and standing. So now when you come to meditate, no more instructions. So you're on your own. So before I leave, of course you're going to continue with your meditation, but doing standing meditation for 15 minutes. Standing or walking, it's up to you. Both of them give you more energy to balance out so that you can, when you come back to sitting, there's no much pain. So I want to spend 5 minutes if you have any question about the instruction. So no further instruction. Now it's meditating. Meditation. So 15 minutes of meditation or walking, sitting, and then you come back and sit for 4 to 5 minutes. And then you can go for lunch. It's called mindfulness of eating. Mindfulness of eating is like this. You get the alms bowl, the plate, okay. You get it, you look at the food, express gratitude for all the people who have grown food. I'm very grateful to all people who have grown this food. That's called practice gratitude. Now, look at the food, it's mindfulness of seeing, that's 6 senses. So right there, gratitude is part of right thoughts, right? Thoughts of gratitude to people who have cooked the food, who have grown the food. And now you get a spoon, you get mindfulness of stretching of the hand, then you put spoon, bring a food, and put on the tongue. You come out of tasting, that's another 6 senses. Then elements start to take over. Chewing, you become aware of hardness as you're chewing. The food is hard, then turns to softness, then become aware of fire element. That means hotness of the food, sometimes coolness of the food, depends on what you're eating. Then swallowing, that's water element. So don't get confused. Oh, this is earth element, this is fire element, this is no. Just be directly aware, or when you're chewing your food. If you can be aware of one element, that's good. So you'll be even turning into the activity which you think is mundane, but it can be a spiritual practice, eating. We spend almost 30 minutes eating. But do we become mindful of eating? Maybe not. We get lost in a sense, desires, wow, let me have more durian. It's tasting very well. That's all what we are calculating. I got very less chapati or whatever. So we just get lost in aversion, desire, or ignorance. So you put the food. Well, as you're chewing like this, you put the spoon down. You can even close your eyes. Chewing, and then again open it, and then get the same way, a mindfulness of the hand stretching. Get the food away of the stretching of the hand, put it on the tongue, put the spoon down. If you can chew about 32 times, that would be very good for you, because you have 32 teeth. Give your teeth a chance. Even if you have plucked one, because some of us are not having 32, Don't worry. Chew as much as your tooth. Don't chew one and only put down there. There's no teeth. That's the people problem. They're very creative. They think that there's teeth there also. No, just chew and literally drink your food. So it's the saying, drink your food and chew on your drink. So if you take some water, you mix your saliva. So the more you mix food with saliva, the more actually it's easy to be broken down. And when it reaches here, where there's no teeth, it is easy, So basically, you chew as much as you can. If it's 5, 10 times, but don't do 3 times. Chewing 3 times and swallow. Now that you get this stomach disorders. Chew as much as you can. That's the principle. As much as you can until it turns into food. To liquids. That's the idea. And don't spend time counting 1, 2, 3. You're not an accountant again. Just get some idea. You can feel that, okay, now the food is a liquid. And then you swallow slowly. Avoid these ideas. You put here in the mouth, another one, waiting here. You see, this is why we have lost the art of eating now. It's no longer spiritual practice. In Uganda, I saw a clip, it's a kind of a video clip, whereby somebody was ironing, and he was eating, and he had something in the hotel. So as she was ironing, and was eating, and then ironing, at one time he got so lost in the conversation, and now what happens, because he didn't look now, he didn't look at, because he was ironing like this, and was eating like this, and he was listening. So at some stage he got a flat ironing, and put in the mouth. I'm telling you, this is real. This is life. It's called multitasking. The mind can take one object at a time. I read a book on 14 Rules of Science by Dr. Medina. It can take 2 objects at the same time, provided one doesn't require attention. But if both activities requires attention, you're not going to do one of them good. Let's say driving and texting. So either you're going to drive very well and text badly, Have you ever sent a text and you have not completed it, and somebody get it wrong completely? Because you are driving properly, and at the same time you're texting, and the tension was more on the driving. Or else you text properly, and then you are running into somebody. Isn't it? You get it from both the Buddha, and if you don't listen to the Buddha, get it from science. This is scientifically proved that the mind cannot do 2 things at the same time that if they require attention. The Buddha, this actually it was Buddhist, it's in Buddhist literature, the Abhidhamma, that the mind can take one object at a time. So science has just proved it. So when you are doing mindfulness of eating, avoid looking at scoring your text at the same time eating, because you need attention to text and also need attention to eat. So unless you sacrifice your eating and then put it, you are not texting like this. You put your ears. Food will end up in your ears, I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Or in your nose, actually. It's now a habit. You no longer put food in your nose, but very close. So the message is very clear. Don't do 2 things at the same time that require your attention. So if one doesn't require your attention, like scratching your back like this and you're eating, no problem. But if it requires attention, I'm telling you, if you can succeed to do both, you're going to be stressed. That's a trade-off. You can't actually wing it. Texting and driving, then you're in between there, you know. The results of that is you're under stress actually. But you take one thing at a time. So grateful of eating is very important. Okay. I had forgotten about mindfulness of eating. So I think you have got good instruction at the moment. One question, please.
What are your thoughts on the duration of meditation?
The duration of meditation? Were you here? And when I was talking about, you were here at the beginning? Okay, we need to specify what formal meditation and informal meditation. Informal meditation, you should meditate 24/7, except when you're sleeping. You have to distinguish what are you talking about, formal or informal. Informal, that means in your life you can do, because the word meditation has a big implication. It's about mental development. But when you talk about your formal meditation, yeah, you want, science has it, like neuroscience talks about 10 minutes. If you meditate for 10 minutes, there will be chemical changes in the brain. But other school talks about 30 minutes. Then there will be change completely in your, so now when you do average, 10 plus 30, you do the average, about 20 minutes, I think it's okay. But for me, that's if you want science. But for me, from my experience, I feel 45 minutes just right for me. Yes, if I do minimum 45 minutes, I just starting from 30 minutes, and then I start to really feel that, wow. But for me, meditation, it doesn't have to be captured that way, like 40, 30 minutes. The key is to make sure that you do it properly, so then within 2 minutes, within the 5 minutes, you're in a good state of mind. So we cannot calibrate everything to the Newton's clock. What matters is what state of mind were you? Are you doing this on a regular basis? Because if you don't do meditation on a regular basis, you sit here and spend almost 30 minutes getting lost in past and future, you know. Then you can even take 1 hour to settle, even 2 hours. But if your lifestyle, you've been really actually bending towards contemplation, you just sit 5 minutes, boom, you're really settled. So it doesn't really matter exactly how many hours you've been meditating, 30 minutes or whatever. No, all these are arbitrary figures. It all depends. Yeah, sometimes I go to sit 5 minutes, I feel that my mind settled. Sometimes mind settled 20 minutes. Sometimes it takes 2 minutes. It varies. Yeah? So the key is not just sit there that you're meditating. No. Meditation should be very effective. You should be more attentive, more focused, more mindfulness, more understanding, and all these things. So it's just, 30 minutes. And you think that you've been meditating, but actually all the time you've been thinking. You see what I'm saying? That it cannot be calibrated on time. But a good start, you can start with 30 minutes and see how it goes and increase it. So for me, what I prefer, you make increments. Let's say if you start with the 10 minutes in your daily life, increase it to 5, and then another 5, slowly by slowly, so that it becomes a habit within 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, things will become habit. Anything you practice after 2 weeks, science has it that you actually becomes a habit. So what you want is meditation to become more of a habit than just a chore, you know. Just like now, brushing your teeth is a habit now, isn't it? You don't need somebody to remind you do your brushing your teeth for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and also you say you don't have to. Today I'm going to brush my teeth. No, it's just become automatic. You go to brush your teeth. It's natural. So we want our spiritual life to be our mundane life, and our mundane life to be our spiritual life. Then you'll solve your problems in life. Let your mundane life be a spiritual life. Just like eating is mundane, let it be a spiritual practice. Walking is a mundane thing, let it be a spiritual practice. So is standing and all this. So then you let also your spiritual practice to be mundane. That means like there's nothing special. You go and sit, it's just like something mundane, it's a habit. Other than demarcating, okay, this is my spiritual life. and this is my mundane life. No, you need to blend. So that's why the Buddha was talking about you dwell with mindfulness. Dwelling with mindfulness. Put mindfulness in front of you. He was not talking about 45 minutes. Boo, tang, I'm ready, done. Then you become a time bomb. After that, wow, he's been at BF, he's meditating regularly. But what's going on? He has lost it, you know. I've answered your question. One more question before I leave. We'll have a question and answer session anyway, later on after. Quick one. Anybody who has not yet got clear about these things? I was talking about basic understanding that meditation is one of the best comers. It brings the results of happiness. That's basic understanding, but really there's a lot of right understanding. One is cause effect, but mostly we want to see wholesome. And what's the cause of wholesome? Unwholesome. And what's the cause, the root of unwholesome? If we do that and get it clearly from the time of meditation, then we know that meditation is a wholesome activity. And now its root is based on loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. And then we try to cultivate wholesome and the root of wholesome. And also we try to let go what's unwholesome. Kusala, akusala. So meditation is going around that area of kusala, akusala. We let go akusala and wholesome. We cultivate what's wholesome. So all the things that are listed there, they are kusalas. You remember I listed things? 8 things, right understanding, right? All these are the 8 things. That was how to meditate. We need to cultivate kusala. That's what I was talking about. And the cultivation of that leads to wholesome happiness. So this basic understanding is very important. You start with that basic understanding. But of course, right understanding from the Buddha's teaching, he gave so many, but that's one of them. Wholesome and unwholesome and their roots. Another one, understand this is a mission. Were you there yesterday? Yesterday, you didn't come. Oh, we talked about vision and mission statement of the Buddha's teaching. So the understanding that when you cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path, that's understanding the Noble Eightfold Path, understanding the suffering, which is the 5 aggregates in short. 5 aggregates of cleaning, that's the first noble truth, as the Buddha spelled it out with suffering and birth, death, and pain and all that. Then understand the cause of suffering is craving for sensual pleasures and existence and all that, and also the ultimate vision, which is Nibbana. That's the best, that's the teaching of the Buddha, giving what we call right understanding. But that's not the only one. That's supermundane, the supermundane and right understanding. There's mundane understanding about love, karma, cause and effect. There is also understanding this is wholesome and unwholesome and the root of that. Yeah, so that's what I said, that meditation has to proceed with the right understanding. And it goes all the time. It's continuously as you meditate. Those cardinal factors are going together. The understanding part of it, then the mindfulness part of it, and the concentration part of it, and right thoughts, all this go together. You cannot only cultivate meditation Monday, right understanding, Tuesday, right mindfulness. No, la. Everything goes like this in a cyclic. All right, I think there's no question. That means you are good. You know what's the 5 questions, HW questions. You know how to meditate. Now you're on your own. The next thing is called group meditation. Or we finished group meditation? Now it's group meditation. So now you do what called group meditation until 12. 12 you are going to go for mindfulness of lunch, which I've told you. Mindfulness of eating. And then mindfulness resting is not resting in Google. This means resting in Google. You know, that's why I changed it. Sister Jenny had put resting. Then I said no. If I put rest only, people are going to rest in Google. Now I say with mindfulness. But I think according to my research and development department, I want to develop mindfulness of phones. How you have to practice mindfulness when you're with your phone. Yeah. I want to actually make a meditation practice like this, whereby you can really even get some awakening forms, not maybe fun awakening, but really actually be mindful when you are using the phone, so that we don't have to keep them aside. But for the moment, you keep them aside and then rest, and then you come back for walking meditation to balance the energy. Because we need to balance the energy. Because if you don't do walking meditation and come and sit, then in meditation, when I'm giving a Dhamma talk, you're going to see the Dhamma talk very long. It's a long talk, actually. Though it's a short talk, but it's going to be a long one because you have a lot of pain. That's why there's walking meditation before the Dhamma talk. So please don't cut out corners in the schedule, because it's designed with thoughtfully, to balance your energy, so that when you come back to sit and listen, then you don't have a lot of pain. So thank you very much again for your attention. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Okay, please do some standing meditation for about 10 minutes or walking, and then come back and do some sitting, at least minimum sitting 30 minutes, minimum, at the minimum.